Many people believe that the best way to tackle racism in this country is to have open, honest conversations about race and race related issues. And that is the mission of the organization we're going to learn about today. I'm excited to have Vice President of Focus on Race Relations, Kristie Powe, here to talk with me about key projects in the organization and how you can get involved. But first, Kristie, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Well, Kristie, let's start off and give an overview of Focus on Race Relations and how long the organization has been around.
Sure. The organization has actually been around since 2017. My father and Scott Rollins founded the organization, and it came about after the uprising or riots, the events that happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. Very disturbing to my father. He and Scott happened to be at a luncheon together, and at that time, my dad just decided that he had been on the sidelines for way too long and just couldn't do that anymore. He had a conversation with Scott, and thus four was born from that. Four, Focus on Race Relations, is just a group of pretty diverse group of community individuals, all seeking to raise the level of awareness of race and race-related issues in Frankfort. And we always say that our aim is to change minds by changing hearts. And just as you said in the beginning, we do that by encouraging and initiating open and honest face-to-face conversations about race and race-related issues.
That's great. And I know there's a few projects, a few key projects that are going on within four. And one of them is the monument at Singing Bridge. Tell me a little bit about that project and what the status of it is right now.
Well, we're actually working in partnership with EJI, the Equal Justice Initiative. And this has been a kind of national project. It's not just ours, it's something that's happening all around. Frankfurt took that on because of all of the lynchings that took place on or around the Singing Bridge, and we realized that we needed to be a part of that history. We already had in 2019, I believe, the soil collection ceremony, which was amazingly successful. We had church participation, we had community participation, and what we did is we collected soil, and collected in jars, and we did a ceremony to those lives that were lost at the bridge. And now our next step moving forward is to have a monument erected, and that is swiftly coming. I believe that we'll have that done hopefully before the end of this year. So that's our next step in the process, to make sure that a monument goes up.
That's great. And hopefully we can be there to help show folks the unveiling of that monument when it's ready.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, you were
And
actually there for our soil collection ceremony.
I
So
thought
that was,
so.
and it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And it is really important to it's such an awful thing to have happened there at the Singing Bridge. So, but it is very important to show history, right? And to
It
make sure
is, because a
people
lot of
understand.
people don't know. A lot of children, don't know. And that's a difficult area. Do you want your children to know that history? But they need to. This is a part of Frankfurt's history. And that's what FOR does. These are difficult conversations. They're uncomfortable. It's not things that a lot of people like to face and address, but it happened. And we need to make sure that nothing like that ever happens here again. So that's why we're trying to get it out there and make sure that people appreciate that. And we want to honor the lives that were lost.
Yep, you're absolutely right, and I couldn't agree more. Kristie, tell me how Focus on Race Relations functions as a group. I know you have a few committees that sort of help guide things along and make sure projects are done, right?
We do. That's exactly how we function. In fact, we are a rather large group, and there's so many different things that we're trying to tackle that we found it best to separate into committees. We have our church committee, and they have a program that's called Be the Bridge, and that's been very effective in getting white and Black ministers together to try to talk about why churches are so segregated, and to see if we can't kind of erase that segregation in the churches. We have our education committee that is just amazing. They've been so busy. My father, Ed Powe, has kind of made it his personal project to get more minority teachers into the school systems here. It's hard for a lot of Black and Brown students when you never have a role model. There's not a lot of Black and Brown teachers that they can look up to and say, hey, that was my teacher. So he's been working with the school boards here to try to see if we can't recruit more minority teachers. And we're so excited to learn that the two of the schools here have said that they need 2 high school teachers and 2 middle school teachers that will solely be recruiting minority recent graduates and current students to teach here. And I mean, to me, that's such a win. It's a win for Frankfort and Franklin County. It's a win for these students. So we're really excited about that. We have another committee, the Community Protection and Advocacy Committee. Very important right now. In fact, Margaret O'Donnell is kind of uh, hosting that one. But what we do is we are working in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department and the City Police. We have, their committee has quarterly meetings, and we have conversations with the Sheriff's Department and the City Police about issues, race and race-related issues in and around Frankfort and the community. And that's proven to be very important. We so appreciate the help that Sheriff Quire has given us. He's been very receptive to our conversations that we've had, and some of them have been difficult. There have been some issues that a lot of the community doesn't even know that we're facing or dealing with. So we're just trying to bring those to the light and tackle those. And that committee has been like a dog with a bone. They just, anytime something comes up, they take it directly to Sheriff Quire and he addresses it. So we appreciate that. Our committees are kind of what keeps our group going. And without them, we really would just be floundering and talking amongst ourselves. So we're very appreciative of everyone in our group.
Well, Kristie, before I let you go, tell our viewers how they can get involved and focus on race relations.
The best thing for you to do is find us on our website. We are at www.focusonracerelations.org. It gives you a background on our organization, how we were founded, why we were founded, what our committees are, what we do. I do want to mention that we were the recent recipients of the Frankfort Ministerial Association's Martin Luther King Jr. Grant Award this year. So we're very proud of that. It's good to be recognized for the work that we're doing in the community. So you can sign up directly on our site. You can become a member on our site. Our meetings are every second Monday of the month. And we welcome and encourage anyone who is interested. We are, as I said, a very diverse group of people that just want to make a change and, want to heal some of the hurts that have been around for so long here. So we welcome anyone to come and visit and be a part of us.
That's fantastic. And you can visit focusonracerelations.org to get involved. And like you said, find out the history of the organization. Kristie Powe, thank you so much for sharing your day with us, and happy birthday. We're recording this on your birthday.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much.
Yeah, so thanks so much for being on the show, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right, thank you.